All right. And we're back, everybody, with another 2020 Olympiad, online Olympiad. My name is Roland, and I'm still here, of course, with the lovely Anna Muzichuk. How are you doing, Anna?
I feel great. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Grandmaster Anna Uzichuk here today with the Grandmaster Roland Pruisers, commentating on Division 2 of FIDE Online Chess Olympiad. Roland, how about you? How are you? And please tell us about the results that were missed during our lunch break.
Wow, thank you, Anna. That's a great setup for me. Indeed, let's take a look at the results of Pool B. I'm doing fine, by the way, of course. We're having a lot of fun covering, of course, the online Olympiad. So, Pool B, round two. So, round one, we unfortunately had no time to cover that as well as round two. But as you can see in round two, Greece beat Israel with 5-1, Latvia won Austria with 4-2, Moldova won against Thailand with 5-1. IPCA, which stands for International Physically Disabled Chess Association, lost unfortunately against Slovakia, and Singapore lost 1-5 against Romania, as you can see on the left side of the board. Now let's take a look at the standings of Pool B that you can see right now, right now, right now,
Right
on
now,
the
it's
left side. Yeah, okay, we're covering Pool B first. Yeah, with round three. These are the pairings that you can see for this round. These are the rounds that we are going to cover. Romania versus Greece, Slovakia, Singapore, Thailand, IPCA, Austria, Moldova, and Israel, Latvia. Is there a team that you're rooting for in this pool, or that you think has a really good shot to move on to the next division?
I think Romania has good chances to advance because they have very strong women's and junior sports. While of course there are many other good teams who will be fighting strong, and try to qualify too. So that will be really interesting to see. Slovakia is on the second place right now. They won the first match 4.5 to 1.5, and the next one 5-1. Also, Greece won both of the matches. The same for Latvia. And I think that's it. I think these four are the only four teams who won two matches.
Yeah, I think so too. We're going to add the standings up for you shortly. I was a bit too early with that. We're still updating the standings, but we'll give them to you shortly, of course. Yeah, let's talk then a little bit about what the Online Olympiad is, what the format is, so that everybody who is new in the broadcast can understand what it's all about, the format, and hopefully it will come on the show. Well, anyways, yeah, the standings of Pool B. Never mind, everybody. Yes, we've got this everything updated. So now we've got Pool B here. These are the standings. Romania doing very well. And like Anna said, Greece also on 4 points. Slovakia also on 4 points. Latvia also on 4 points, which means that they've won every match so far. And of course, there are, yeah, still a lot of games to be played. So this will be the last round of Pool B. And yeah, we've got some exciting matches and some exciting chess, yeah, to look out for. So this will be the first coverage we do of Pool B, and I'm very curious to see also how Romania will do. Romania being the favorite on rating in this pool, but having some competition with Slovakia, Greece, and Latvia. So we still have to wait for the games, of course. The games are not yet ready. And yeah, do you know some good players who are playing for example, Latvia or Romania? Do we have some people to look forward to?
I think we will have the team composition soon and exactly the ones who will play in this match because I think there is a reserve for each board, if I am not mistaken. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. Yeah,
I am
so
just checking if the games are on or not.
not yet, but we can talk a little bit maybe about who was qualified in the previous division. So in the previous division in this pool, you can see Thailand, Singapore, and the IPCA. Those are the three teams that actually qualified from the previous division in the previous weekend. Especially Thailand was a team that really surprised me. They actually started not in Division 3, they actually started in Division 4. So they qualified throughout Division 3 to come now into Division 2. So I'm very curious to see if they can push it all the way to the top division, which would be extremely awesome. It's like they would be such an underdog. So if they can make it, as well as of course the IPCA or Singapore, that would be a huge upset. They are by a long shot not one of the rating favorites, but upsets are always nice. So we can see if that will happen. Actually, I think I got notice on some games. Let me see if I can find that one. All
Yes,
right,
I
let me
think
see
if
if they started.
some lower rated teams make it to the top division, it would be really nice. But it will be very, very difficult because I see that some of the teams' compositions, they have many grandmasters in the team, and that means they have a bit higher chances for that. Do we
Yeah,
have the games?
yeah, we've got games. So in this game, we see Romania, Constantin Lupulescu facing off against Dimitrios Mastro Vasilis. So that is the first board, I believe, of this match. Yeah,
Romania
two teams that are
lose.
doing very well. Sorry, go ahead.
Romania playing versus Greece. So Constantin Lupulescu is a grandmaster rated over 2600. Dimitrios Mastrovasilis is also a grandmaster rated over 2600 or very close to 2600. They are both strong grandmasters. So it's going bit too.
Yep, absolutely. Also, what do you think about this position at the moment? Who's better and why? Which color would you prefer?
I slightly prefer white because of the bishop pair, and I believe it's a bit easier to play with white, but still, lots of things will happen in the future. And we see g4 was played, threatening g5 because the knight can't move to h5, the knight can't move to e4 the very moment. And you know,
Mhm.
playing knight g8 is not what you really want. So
Yep.
I am expecting some knight f8 move from black side so that in case of g5, we place another knight to d7, and then the knight from f8 will come to e6 because I'd like to mention that this is the crossbar type of pawn structure, and in this
Mhm.
structure, it's not so bad to have the knight on e6 and on d6.
Yeah. I do like this maneuver is a brilliant one actually. I haven't seen that one very often, but still, even if those knights are well placed like this with a knight on d7 and a knight on e6, I really like white though. White has a lot of space on the king side. The pawns can maybe start marching, creating some weaknesses on that side. I mean, black is absolutely very solid here, but would you also rather pick white here?
Yeah, I also prefer white. Another possibility is to play not knight f8, but perhaps knight b6, but the idea is the same, to empty the d6, d7 square for another knight so that we have this retreat after g5.
Knight b8, you said, or knight b6?
Knight to b6, I said.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe I said knight to b8, sorry for that, but I meant knight b6.
I was a bit surprised there as well. No, I probably just misheard. Knight b6, yeah, looks good as well. With the idea g5, knight fd7, like you said. Yep, very complex position. I like white, but it's still a long way from resignation, of course. All right, let's move on to another game. So this is board number 2. This looks okay. Queen c2 played with a trick in mind. What happens after knight takes c3? What
Maybe
happens
just
after
we
knight
take
takes
c5.
c3?
Because we can't play bishop d2. Well, we can play, but maybe it's not so great. It's pinning the knight, but there is knight e2 check.
Yeah, exactly. The bishop is blocking the queen from protecting this pawn. So knight takes e2, and it's black who's in the driving seat.
So
So
maybe to
what?
start with d takes c5, and black can't capture this pawn back as the knight on
Mhm.
c3 will be unprotected.
Yeah, what about after this to play something like knight a6, for example?
Yeah, definitely makes the sense, but is the pawn hanging now? I am not sure as we have bishop e7. Um, Maybe now, maybe not immediately because we can still play knight e7 after the knight goes to c5.
Yeah, but yeah, after bishop e7, I think that white is just looking very good, it seems. I mean, knight a4 is a possibility, but c4 is hang. Actually, I just realized black is a pawn up, at least for the moment. But okay, the bishops are just so strong that white should be a lot better, yeah?
Yeah, there is definitely a strong compensation for that. So white will take on the c4 pawn, and there is a pressure over this h1 a8 diagonal and two bishops per advantage. So, and once again, it's the game between two grandmasters. Stelios Halkes is like 2600 grandmaster, and Mircea Perliger is also very strong grandmaster. So please don't pay so much attention to the ratings in the brackets because these are Chess.com ratings. It's not FIDE ratings, and FIDE ratings may be quite different.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so let's remind everybody something that we, of course, still have to do. Remind everybody what exactly is this online Olympiad in 2020. Well, we've got a nice card for you. So here you go. It's a truly worldwide event featuring 163 teams and over 1,500 players from around the world. And yeah, you guys can read this, of course, yourself, but it's really, really a big event. Countries are participating that I haven't heard of before, and yeah, it's amazing to see how all the countries are taking an interest in chess. Of course, we've got multiple divisions, and we'll show a card later of that. And it's basically based on strength, and the further you get, the harder the division will be until you eventually reach the top division, and there the teams will decide who will move on to stage two. Okay, then of course, here you go, the format, the general format. So stage one is where all the divisions are, and then stage two, 12 teams from the top division will move on there, and there are KO duels, knockout duels, two matches plus an Armageddon if necessary. Time control, 15 minutes plus 5 seconds per move. And yeah, there you go. We're back to the games. Let's take a look at another one because this was the one we've already checked. Let's see. All right,
Yeah,
next
let's go to the next game, perhaps of the same teams. In the chat, the viewers are asking when is the pool D starting. Well, at the moment we are covering pool B and pool C, and today later on there will be pool D and pool E, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we will have a coverage of every pool today. And I think that in actually, well, yeah, pool D is one of the last one we're going to cover. We're starting with A and then pool B and then pool C and then pool D. So it's going to take some time for pool D to start, but we'll definitely cover that. Don't worry. Yeah, every team will get a turn in this broadcast. So there you go. No stress. Your favorite teams will be on the broadcast at some point. But okay, let's take a look at the position. So we're covering right now Romania, the rating favorite against Greece. I
It's
think
the
black
women's
turned well,
sport, I believe, and it's actually the game between two strong players because I know both of the girls.
right?
And it's the game between Irina Bulmaga from Romania and Stavrula Tolokidou from Greece. A very solid position. I somehow feel it was like a long line theory, but
But
maybe not.
we can check. So the first
Let's check.
it was a Sicilian, and this seems to be okay. An H3 Najdorf with E5, knight B3. Okay, tell me when you think Fury stopped. Okay. Let's see.
Okay, this I still know, but queen d2, d5, I think it's like a turning point because if black manages to play d5 in a good way, then they immediately equalizes the position at least. And I think d5 is a good moment to do it here because if white takes, and I think white took in the game, yeah. In case white played e5, that could be a bit dangerous because of, yeah, too many possibilities. Knight d7 or knight e4 or, I don't know, knight d7, knight d5. We have to be careful with that. Knight e5, but we have to give this bishop.
Yeah, maybe not that clear. Yeah, let's take a look at knight e4. Maybe that's a better move here. Just
Knight
move
e4 is,
forward.
yeah, knight takes e4, d takes e4. What about
And
position? Yeah.
kind of unclear. Yeah, I have a hard time making out what is going on in this position. What I think I like black because, for example, after a move like long castle, I think I'm already looking for tricks, but they don't work. What about a move like knight b4 and knight d5?
I like this idea. Knight b4, a3, knight d5.
Actually, can you take here? I'm
Ah,
wondering.
you want to go. Okay, you found a better version. I saw this move, but I didn't know what would happen. But if you trade the queens, well, after queen c2, there is rook c8, while
This
if,
rook is also under attack still. I'm
yeah, but
wondering,
rook c8, rook d8, rook d8, not great. Okay, maybe we shouldn't sacrifice too much. Maybe
maybe
first,
not too much. Yeah,
first queen b6. Or,
just queen b6 looks good. Attacking the knight and then rook c8. Yeah, it looks really, really dangerous. Yeah.
oh, it's
So
good for black.
yeah, and often instead knight takes c2, like you said, knight d5 looks very normal as well.
But if you can take on c2, why not to take it?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was I thought that knight c2 was not possible in the beginning because of a queen d8, but I think it's still working. Rook fd8, rook d8, a rook d8, and after king c2 there is rook c8 check, and we are taking the b3 knight on the next move.
Exactement. And then black will be a pawn up and also with more active pieces, it seems. So yeah, this is looking very good for the black player then. But okay, let's
Well,
see what happened in the
that
game.
was a nice combination by Roland. By the way, we have one game which is already finished.
All right, let's
I
take
don't know. Oh,
that
oh.
hurts.
Knight e3. Wow, wow,
Yeah,
wow.
that's a painful move. Let's
Unpleasant
see.
fork.
Let's see what happened real quick. So it was a
Okay,
banko,
Benko, and now, oh,
knight
this
d4.
this
That hurts. Yeah, knight takes f2 next move.
white white had to take some measures against it. I believe bishop a3 was not good.
Yeah, that hurts. Bishop a3 maybe? What's
Mm,
I don't know, it seems
maybe knight
okay.
d3 and then knight c4.
Yeah, maybe knight c4 here, yeah. Covering this diagonal, the knight's well placed here. No knight g4 threats because the knight has to move either to b4 or to c1.
But
So
then
yeah, this would have been better. But okay, first result of this pool, it seems. ICPA losing against the player from Thailand. Yeah, not a good start for the ICPA, but maybe they will bounce back. All right, so let's see. We've got that is the first result. No results yet. So let's move back to the Greece versus Romania game. And I'm actually I want to see, okay, this game, for example. Bogdan Daniel Deak versus Dimitri Alek
Alexakis.
Zakis. Okay, yeah, excuse me. Well, what do you think, Anna?
It's a complex position. It was Sicilian. I am not sure which line exactly. Maybe some Taimanov line with
I
queen
can check.
c7.
So it was a Taimanov Sicilian, it seems. And the queen d3 move. Yeah, the queen d3 move is usually an idea to play queen g3, if I'm not mistaken. I think,
Um,
actually, Anna, did you make a video course on the Taimanov, if I'm not mistaken?
I did make a video course on Taimanov, more from the white side. I had, it's not a DVD, but I think it's just a 1 hour course, which you may see in chess-based magazines. So do check this video, but I didn't cover Queen D3. I covered Bishop E3, the move which I played
Yeah,
in my games.
of course. So yeah, bishop e3, the most straightforward opening against Taimanov. Yeah, yeah. So have you ever seen queen d3 before?
Yes, I did see Queen D3 before. It's not the most popular move in this position, but it's becoming more and more popular in the last years. And the main idea is, as you pointed to, uh, play Queen G3 later on. Sometimes it's done even after taking on C6, so something like Knight C6, B takes C6, and then Queen G3 is coming. And if black takes on G3, then white takes with the H pawn, opening the file for the rook. If black doesn't take on G3, then they are struggling to develop the bishop from F8. So this is more or less the idea of the line.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that any better. So let's see how black dealt with that. So queen d3, knight f6 played, knight db5, all right, queen b8, queen g3, right, threatening knight c7. Let's see what happened. d6, bishop e3, a6, knight d4, and I'm just going to scoot over this. This is a very complicated opening, but yeah, the thing is that the queen is eyeing the g7 square. That is the most annoying part, like Anna said. So, right. So what happened was some exchanges. Black managed to play b4 and knight d2, and here we are. I think I'm struggling to think who is better here. It's still kind of complicated. Do you think that white will ever play a move like a3 to try and open up the a file?
I was going to ask you one more complicated question. I
Oh,
mean, will white castle short or long? Because it's also a bit unclear to me.
yeah, that's maybe a more tough question. Well, actually, maybe it's more or less the same question as I wanted to ask you, because if you go short, then you would like to play with a3, and if you go long, then usually you don't play with a3. So, hey, we asked the same question more or less.
Yeah, if we go long, I think white is trying to prepare castle in long, and then they will try to push g4. So I believe if white plays long castle at the very moment, black should stop g4 by playing h4 maybe.
Yeah, otherwise g4, g5 is very strong. Yeah, what can we say? I think it's just a very double-edged position, isn't it? And we'll have to see how things progress. Very interesting game, at least. This was the current position, bishop e7, last move. We'll get back to this game later. Let's move on to the next one. I think we are, yeah, still with Romania versus Greece. What do you think about this position, Anna?
I think we have to realize if we can take on c6 and take on e5 right in the moment. Because if that works, white will be pawn up. If not, it will be more or less equal.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can find out if it actually works. I guess bishop takes, knight takes e5. What could be a possible move for black here?
Hmm.
Hmm,
Maybe actually not bishop c6, but rook c6. I'm
maybe
not sure.
rook c6. All right. I think
But
I. Oh wait. Well, after
knight,
knight takes
still
e5.
knight e5. Rook c5, queen c5, rook c8 doesn't work because we take on c8. You prefer to take on
Oh
d7.
yeah,
I prefer to mate.
yours is a lot better. Why not give mate if you can, right? Yeah, mate behind.
Knight d7 was winning too.
Yeah, both good moves, but I would lose the puzzle rush match against you here. So yeah, all right. So it looks to me like white is simply winning a pawn in that case.
Yes,
What do you
but white
think?
is
Would you?
thinking. So what's
Hmm.
bishop c6, knight e5? We have to find something here. Some trick.
Oh, some trick.
Roland, you're good when it comes to the tricks. No?
Okay, I'll try. Ay, 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 ay. You're putting me on the spot here. All right, let's see. Bishop a4.
Maybe bishop e4.
Yeah, I
Okay,
was thinking
we
bishop
came with
e.
more or less the same idea, but with bishop on a4, I could take on a4, and the queen on a4 would protect the d1 square.
Yeah, you're correct. With the idea of this one, then you take here, and white cannot take back because there's a rook on d1. And if you take here, then d8 is protected by the queen, so you can take the queen like this. One question is, what happens if you play a move like queen c3?
I think there is more than one question because there was also queen a4 attacking the bishop on the next.
Well, queen a4. Yeah,
e4. Maybe not so good. Maybe b5. Still
yeah,
attacking.
probably b5.
Maybe not b5.
This is what I.
Maybe b5.
Yeah.
Queen e5 is not possible because of rook c8. But it looks a bit dangerous for white.
Yeah, this looks very dangerous somehow. I'm not exactly sure how.
Maybe taken on c5 first.
Fixed.
And some move now like maybe simple b6
Queen
or queen
b6.
d6.
Yeah. b6, you said?
I said b6.
Okay, rook c. The rook has
Now
to go, and then you take this guy. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you do have queen takes e4. No, you don't, because you have mate. Yeah, this looks like it is. I think the rook cannot protect the knight, and that is more or less the problem in this position. All right.
so maybe actually white can't take this pawn. Let's see if any moves were played.
Yeah, let's check.
White did take the pawn.
Took. With the rook, though.
With the rook. Okay. It's another story. I believe black should have taken with the bishop. And then this trick with bishop e4.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this is simply, yeah, just good for white. It seems like white has a solid pawn up. Well, the game is far from over, of course. The bishop is still pretty good, even though I have to use green squares, obviously. Good bishop. The bishop can go to f5 at some point, and maybe on this diagonal, it can still be pretty good at some point. But yeah, a pawn is a pawn, so I guess black is just a bit better right now. Okay, let's try to move on. I'm going to see if we can find some interesting games. Actually, let's take a look at this game. Okay, so this is actually Viktor Bologan, the legend himself, playing for Moldova. And he won his game against Georg Halvax from Austria. And yeah, this looks like a beatdown. Let's see what happened in the past few moves. Okay, so very nice position
from black side.
Very good pawns. F4, trying to break through. E3, very
F4
nice.
and E3, very nice. If queen takes E3, then d takes F4, and then bishop H4, bishop G3, and queen H4. Yeah, I believe something in that.
Yeah, it looks like, well, it just looks like black broke through in brilliant fashion. Right, and everybody, actually, sorry to break this off a little bit because we actually have a surprise. We've got a guest that we want to introduce to you. So we'll be going on a short break, and a very, very short break. We will be right back with a surprise guest for you. So don't go anywhere.
I don't know the surprise myself, so I'm also waiting to know who will be our guest right now.
Hello, everyone, and we are back as promised with a surprise guest, Mr. Victor Bologan himself. Hello, welcome to the broadcast. How are you feeling?
Hi, hi. Getting better. How are
Getting
you?
well. We just saw a very nice game of you where you managed to win with the black pieces against Mr. Georg Halfax. Yeah. So, how do you think? What do you think about your chances with your team Moldova in this competition?
Okay, it's something new for everybody, so it's difficult to evaluate the chances. The teams are very unbalanced, including our team. We don't have our best female players, and even me and Viorel Dakescu, we are not like full-time professional, actually, not at all. So, but it's a very good chance for all of us to play, and we see it first of all as a possibility to just play chess. Okay, sport ambition, chess ambitions we put aside for the moment.
Okay, just to have fun and just play some chess games. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think then about the online Olympiad in general? What are your thoughts about the tournament?
Wow, it's a great tournament. Okay, first of all, as you know, you might know that I'm executive director of FIDE as well, and I'm very proud with our team, our colleagues, because I'm not directly involved in the organization of this Olympiad, but the team with Emil Sutowski, with many are doing a great job, and thanks to Chess.com for giving this opportunity. It's a really nice tournament. It's over my expectations because it's really, you can see it as a sport. It's a lot of results, many interesting games, and I think it's great. I like it. I like it more and more.
All right. So
Great.
Anna, yeah, do you have any questions?
Yes, it's really great to have Victor here with us. As it was mentioned, Victor is also a FIDE executive director. Yeah, I know that Victor, you are not playing so many tournaments recently, so it must be a nice feeling to play some games, right?
Actually, I was very enthusiastic before the tournament that I will play, and even I had a couple of hours of preparation. But when you lose the first game, it's really suffer, you know. So better to play, not to lose. Then I would be really happy. But of course, this feeling of playing chess. I am 30 years in chess. No, even more, almost 40. So of course it's something. So it's always good to be back to chess. Yeah. Thank you, Anna, for asking this.
Yeah, thanks for your answers. Thanks for taking your time to come and join us. We wish you good luck, and we also wish your team of Moldova, good luck and all the best in the next rounds.
Thank you guys for inviting. I also wish you a good day and good work and enjoy chess. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that was an awesome surprise to have the legend himself, Mr. Victor Bologan, in the broadcast. I hope you guys also enjoyed that little interview there. Yeah, but of course, we also have some games left to cover. So we're back to Pool B, round three for the moment. Later, we will also check, of course, Pool C, round one, which is coming up Also, as you can see right now, you can see which pairings we have: Portugal, Spain, Switzerland, Jordan, and my favorite team, of course, the Netherlands, playing against Slovenia. So yeah, that's something I'm really looking forward to go into. But for now, we're going to check to stick with Pool B, round three. This is the last game they will have for today. And yeah, let's see if I can find some interesting games. I don't think we've seen this game yet. So this is, I believe, board five, if I'm not mistaken, between Romania and Greece. And yeah, does Black have any winning chances here, Ella?
There are some, but not so many, I believe. Too many pieces were traded, so it looks like the game will shortly end in a draw, in my opinion. But
I think so too, yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. Let's go. What about this one? A draw. Never mind. Next one. What about this
draw,
one?
draw, draw. So many draws.
Yeah, it's yeah,
This one we
very peaceful.
covered in the beginning. So what happened later on?
Yeah, let's check what the current position is. Hmm.
Okay, it's a draw.
It's a draw. Oh my God. I need to find some good positions. Wait. Let me see. What is this? This looks interesting.
Oh,
Is it though?
this is a bit crazy, but black pawn is running, and just queen.
Just queen and then mate in one. Looks like this is over.
Oh yes.
Well, let's see if I can find something nice and crazy. That rhymed. Oh, there you go. Okay, let's go. What's this?
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Will White manage to save this game?
That's the $1 million question. Let us know in the chat, everybody. What do you think? Will this be a draw? Will this be a win? Will White play Queen D4? We'll see
No,
later.
queen d4, please. Yes.
Queen D6 is way better. King E4. Black does need to be careful a bit here. But yeah, I think Black's playing for the win, but can Black actually manage to get out of the checks, do you think?
I don't see the way, but why not queen e6? Queen e6 and just checking from the 6th rank.
I was thinking maybe the king will go to
King
B1 or A1.
King d3, but could it go if
Let's see. So Queen E6, King D.
d3, Queen b3, King d4? Ah, okay. This way,
Yeah.
Black can escape. Yeah,
King D5, and no good checks anymore. Okay.
true.
Let's see. So what is the position? Queen G6 played, King D5 played, Queen F5, King D4, Queen F6.
King
Looks like a repetition so far.
King d3, Queen c3. So maybe
Yep. King E4.
Queen c6.
Yeah, Queen C6. This looks like this is gonna end into a draw. I don't see a way for Black to run out of the check so far.
But White always have to give all these checks because otherwise Black will promote a queen.
Yeah, so keep checking on the
Queen
sixth
d6
rank.
was played.
King C4.
King c4.
Queen C6. Don't go to B4. Don't. No.
No, this.
Please
Not
don't.
like this.
Please don't. Yeah. Right. Yeah. King D4, Queen D6. Well, the joke, what was going on is that if Queen B4, then it would have been mate in 2, and that would be disastrous for Black. All right. So instead, we are now moving on to, it seems like a repetition. Oh, Queen E6 now on the board. It seems like this is, oh, now it's losing.
But maybe Queen e6 shouldn't be played. The previous time, the check from g6.
Why go to E4? Queen D5 would have been winning.
Indeed.
Now you have once again
Now
checks.
Queen d5. Yeah, now the checks.
Yeah, now once again checks. So Queen D6.
Queen d6. No Queen d4. No Queen d4, please.
Yep, very good. White's doing a good job. Matisse Mustaps versus Israel Kaspi. I'm guessing that will be board 6 or board, no, not board 6, board 5. Well, we'll see. King h4. Does that help
Queen
off
d8.
Queen d? Ah, Queen g4. Queen d8. Very good move. Yeah. Yeah. We're closing in on the end of this round. By the way, we are closing in on time trouble, as you guys can see. 28 seconds for the black player, 21 seconds for the white player. And only a few games left, but we'll stick with this one until it's probably going to be a draw. Yeah, that's my cue.
We are
Let's
not
move on.
sure, but it may be.
Here you go. All right, so should we explain how this endgame is winning, Anna?
How
Or
this
are we going to
endgame was
wait?
winning, but this one I thought about the previous one. Okay, this one I know how to win it, but white is already on the right route, so they put the rook on the fourth rank, and the idea is okay, black resigned. But the idea is that if black keeps on with the check, then the king goes to e5, and after rook e2 we have rook e4.
And the pawn cannot be stopped from promotion. Yeah, very classic, very good performance there from white. Let's see if I can still find some games. I don't think I have any. No, I think all the games are finished. So let's see if we can pull some results up, or maybe some standings or anything that we can show you guys.
We
In
see
any
that
case,
Ipka won versus Thailand 4-2, and Moldova won versus Austria 4.5 to 1.5.
yeah.
While the other matches are already decided because the games are finished, but the scores are not updated.
Yeah, we'll get you that. We'll wow, words are hard. We'll get the standings updated very shortly. Of course, we'll do that as fast as we can. Let's also take a look at what happened in Pool C round one. We do have some results there. As you can see, we've got a 4-0 result so far for Spain versus Portugal. Switzerland won the match against Jordan, and Albania also won the match. Italy won, and the Netherlands, I am very, very excited to see what they did, but they still have no result there. And of course, we'll get back to you shortly. We are going on a break so that we can fix all the standings and results for you. So don't go anywhere. Maybe stretch your legs, splash some water in your face or something, because we'll be back in a few minutes with more of the online 2020 Olympiad.
Yeah, it will be a very, very, very short break, and we will be back very soon. Stay tuned.
And we're back, everyone. Once again, of course, like always throughout the day, with the online 2020 Olympiad. I'm Roland, producers, together, of course, with Anna Mazichuk. Once again, we're having a good time, aren't we? We have a lot of fun games. We're having some nice guests over. Yeah, what do you think, Anna?
I think everything is going fine, everything is going smoothly, and the games in the groups they are just finished, and the new ones will start soon. We are waiting for them to start.
Yeah, usually the game starts at around the hour clock. So in about 6 minutes, they will most likely start. But yeah, of course, we also have something to show you, and those are, of course, the results from round three in Pool B. So Romania, Greece, actually, that was, I think, the big match of this group, ended in a 3-3 draw. Yeah, what do you think? Surprising, Anna? Or
I think it was a good result for the Greek team because there are players who are lower rated, but there were also some surprises in the C pool, right?
that's true. Let's move on to the C pool then. And here you go, round one, some surprises. We've got all the results ready, so let's move them this time order. So Portugal lost the match against Spain, 5.5 half. Switzerland won 4-2 against Jordan, one of the qualifiers from the previous division. Albania won against Estonia. Albania also one of the qualifiers from previous division. North Macedonia lost 1-5 to Italy, and Netherlands, Slovenia, none. That hurts. It was a free draw. My buddies aren't doing. That was not a good result, unfortunately. Free, still no biggie. They can still, of course, move on. We only have one round to go. One round so far in Pool C, so they can still come back. But that's probably the most surprising result, isn't it, Anna?
Yeah, definitely, because I believe that the Netherlands and Spain, these two teams, are clear favorite in this pool. For Netherlands, Olympiad started with this unexpected draw, and Anish Giri made an unexpected draw too.
So
Yeah,
unexpected.
but there are many games to go. I believe the players will show
Yeah,
their
of
real
course.
strengths in the next games.
Of course, and we're going to try and find these top players because there are really some top players who are going to play. Yeah, we're going to find some of their games and try to find at least some of their games, obviously. And yeah, let's take a look at the standings in Pool B. They are finished for today. So yeah, 3 rounds played. Tomorrow they will move on with round 4, 5, and 6, and throughout the weekend. So here you go. Slovakia, the only team on full points. Then Romania, Greece, and then Latvia on 5 points, which means that they won twice and they drew once. So yeah, we are still in early stages. I was hoping actually that Thailand would do very well. They were one of the biggest surprises in the previous divisions when they qualified for Division 2. But yeah, we are done with Pool B. We'll check them, of course, back tomorrow. But for now, we're going to check, of course, Pool C. Let's take a quick look at the standings here. We've got Albania, the qualifier from the previous division, on full 2 points, then Spain and Italy and Switzerland as well, and a surprising draw between the Netherlands and Slovenia. Yeah, a lot of surprises already.
True,
All
the
right.
games should start very soon, so we will be covering new games.
Of course. In the meantime, let's quickly remind everyone what the format is of this whole event. We cannot stress this enough. How, of course, the tournament is scheduled and programmed. So here we've got 163 teams participating with 1,500 players from around the world. And teams are split into 5 divisions. And according to strength and are further divided into pools within those divisions based on time zones and strength. For example, if Anton Smirnov would have been playing at night, that would not be fair for example, if another player would have been playing in the morning. So that is why time zone and also strength, we do want to balance it out in the pools. And of course, let's take a look at how the division structure is then. Here we've got another card. The base division we've covered, this was actually in the first weekend. Then Division 4, that was also covered in a previous weekend. And then Division 3. And guess what? That was also covered in a previous weekend. And now we are on Division 2. Yes, and closing in on the top division, and those will qualify for stage 2, where they will fight for the medals and all the prizes there. Let's take a look at some of the teams that we also can find now in Division 2. Let's take a look at all these gorgeous colors and this very nice card that our people made for you guys. So take a look at all these countries. Germany, Romania, Netherlands, those are one of the top, some of the top countries in this division. They are one of the favorites to go through, of course, but a lot of other countries as well. England, Mickey Adams is playing, Serbia, Croatia, a lot of good countries. But let's take a look at all these brilliant players who I admire so much. Here we go. Ding Liren, Ian Nepomniachtchi, Alexander Grishuk, Levon Aronian, Wesley So, Timer Rajabov, Anish Giri, Shak. That's all. Mamajarov, Vishwanathan Anand, and Duda. Some of the best players in the world, and of course, also some of the female best players in the world. Isn't that right, Anna?
It's perfect. I am really glad that so many strong players joined the field. Here we see the top female players: Hoi Fan, Hampi Konar, Alexandra Goryachkina, Zhou Wenjun, Katarina Lagno, Nana Zagnidze, Alexandra Kostynik, Valentina Gunina, and many, many more. So, very exciting battles are waiting for us. And perhaps we could go back to the pairings and maybe already see some games.
Yeah, we are once again still waiting, everybody, for the games to start. It sometimes takes a little while, but yeah, I mean, let us know in the Twitch chat. What do you think of the Olympiad? What do you think of the countries that are now participating in Pool C? Will the Netherlands bounce back against also Italy? Italy is also a pretty strong team, I believe. Isn't that right, Anna?
Yeah, that's true. Let's quickly mention who is playing, who is going to play now. So Spain versus Slovenia, who surprised. Slovenian team surprised us by making the draw with the Netherlands in the first round. So it's completely unclear how this match will finish, because if they fight so well as they did with the Netherlands, they have chances to take points from Spain. Netherlands will play versus Italy, Estonia will face North Macedonia, Jordan versus Albania, and Portugal versus Switzerland. Yes, please, the viewers, leave your comments, tell us about your thoughts. What do you think about this Olympiad? Which team are you rooting for, or who is your favorite chess player? As well as during the interviews, please send your questions to the players we are bringing to you, because it will be a nice interaction.
Exactly. So actually, a small quiz question for you, Anna, if you don't mind. Do you know where the country of Jordan is located?
Where the country of Jordan is located?
Yeah, just some geography question there.
Some geography question. Well, I believe it's in the Jordan. Well, I know more or less it's not far from Israel. Maybe they even have the border between these countries. I am not so sure, but it's somewhere there.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Maybe.
It is next to Israel and also next to Palestina. It's an Arabic country. They've got 9 million inhabitants actually, and it's actually if you see the country of Jordan, that's actually a really big country, and but most of it they also do have a lot of desert in the country, but it's actually quite a they do have wealthy parts in Jordan. That sounded bad. I don't mean it that way. It's just me making small talk. I'm an idiot. I don't know.
So
Let's go. I think the games
I
are
passed
already
this
starting.
examination question.
Yeah, I
More
was
or less.
thinking like sometimes it's nice. Some countries are really hard, like to. Some countries I didn't even know that they existed before, but after doing this broadcast, it's like, hey, this is nice geography lesson, you know? Yeah, like in the previous division, I more or less learned where Jordan was, and I knew a little bit about that country actually. So 9 million inhabitants. Yeah. All right, but enough about geography. That was like an intermission, and let's take a look at some of the games. So yeah, let's take a look. So we've got here the games have started. Slovenia against Spain, and yeah, this seems to be board one. David Anton Guerrero against Jure Borisek, I believe.
Yura Borishek.
Yeah.
We see that some of the names are actually written with the alphabet of the country the participants are from. That's why it's not so clear, but it's Yura Borishek. With black pieces versus David Anton Guhar with white. Cool position, a very balanced one. But white is trying to press a little bit, putting the knight on e5, trying to threaten some exchange on c6.
Yep.
I believe white's idea is now to play bishop takes c6, b takes c6, and knight a4.
And yeah, with which would win a pawn on c6.
No.
So probably a good move would be to either move the knight or to protect it with a rook, for example, in case c8. Yeah, what do you think? Does white have a lot of potential in this position, or is it more or less, yeah, what would your evaluation be here?
I think it's a very safe position for white. So basically, it's very difficult to spoil it. So basically, white is just playing for two results, which actually makes sense. Let's say after rook c8, white may play something like bishop takes c6, b takes c6, and still knight a4. Now it's not winning the pawn. But yeah, when the knight jumps to c5, after a few moves, the c6 pawn will be a weakness. I think it's easier to play with white.
All right, I more or less agree. I'm not sure how well white is, because even if you put a knight on c5 at some point, black can just take it off and start using the b file at some point. For example, a move like knight d7 looks okay. Or am I
Just
missing
first move the
something?
queen. And
That was a test. That was a test. Yeah, I'm glad you're paying attention, Anna. Okay.
so queen b5, and then the idea, yeah.
Knight c5, most like, or just a move like b3, and then knight d7. I think that more or less the position is okay for black. For example, takes knight c5. Let's say you take everything. It's not that bad. I mean, white does have the nicer bishop on f4, but after moves like a5, a4, I don't think it's that much for white.
I agree with you. Are there any moves?
Let's take a look. Rook ac8 on the board. Yeah, I'm going to try and find some other interesting games.
Maybe let's go one by one with, let's say, Spain.
I can't help it.
Anish Giri. Anish Giri is here. And look at the position he got. The king is already on e2, not Anish king, but his opponent's king.
Yeah, the king is over here.
This may still be the theory. I don't know this theory, to be honest, but this may still be the theory.
We can take a look. One of the first top 10 players in the world participating in this event. Let's take a look how he's doing. Okay, I guess
this famous line were actually, but I think in Carlsen's game, once Carlsen played this line with white, and I think he took on b1 with the queen, and then something like bishop b4, king d1 was in that game. I don't remember who was his opponent, but it was like a very important game for understanding this line. So white allows black to check, and white has to move the king right in the opening, but the position is pretty closed, and white gets the two-pair bishop advantage. And later on, Carlsen won that game, and there were like, you know, big discussions like, is it actually good for white, or black could try to open the center and get a nice counterplay. So
What was the result of those discussions? Do they think it's better for white, or do they think it's more or less equal?
I think they were like, you know, relying on Carlsen, and since Carlsen won that game, they thought, okay, there must be some idea behind it. Let's play it with white. And I believe that Nihal Sarin played this line with white, and he also won the game. So I don't know the exact like evaluation of the line, but I know that